Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Naval Dreadnoughts and the US campaign, where we're kicking off with a little convoy battle led by the Healy here, plus some Swedish destroyers. Plan this episode is just to continue taking the war to the Germans, basically. Want to try and get some boots on the ground and cut them in half with that invasion of Eastern Germany. We'll have to see if we can actually pull that off or not. Meanwhile, anything that impacts their army logistics is a worthwhile thing to try and do. Although, we are playing on legendary difficulty, so it might be quite hard to get their efficiency low enough. I am also continuing with the refits of the destroyers, getting more and more ships in action. Do need to be a little bit careful of that light cruiser. It could potentially be quite irritating. We're going to torpedo each other here. Oh, one of those. Oh, well, it's in the right area. Frown lobe, though. It's taken a lot of hits here. Well, that torpedo might hit her. It does. And that is her gone. Right. Left which has taken a little bit of damage. Back you go. The others can finish off the convoy, I think. And there we go. Oh, well done to that little squadron. Small battle, but very helpful. Next up for the refits are the Tuckers, which we will attempt to do. I'm assuming that your turbines, all three, is going to give me the best bet. I do like the Orcs 5, just gives you some nice range boosts and makes your ships a little bit harder to flood out. TNT4, triple base, super heavy shells, switch to oxygen, semi-auto loaders, Gen 1 radar, upgrade the range finders and things. Now we still have spare displacement. What to do. I think I'm going to do what I've been doing previously and rearming these ships. The massively increased range on these guns and the massively increased weight of shell should make a pretty nice upgrade for these things, because now they can shoot high explosive out to about 12 kilometers, and they actually have a chance of hitting at that range as well. So yeah, we don't have to get in close anymore with ships like this. 2 months apparently to do that, which is quite incredible. We still have a little bit of And not enough to get that. But, no, it doesn't make much of a difference. Well, because I'm trying to get their range up. I could go with an Orcs 4 and an extra pip of range. I think that'll be more useful for them. Just try and get just a teeny bit more utility out of them. Get them into a few more battles. Right, I'm going to save that and then I'm going to go end the turn. Alright, welcome back. The Germans have taken Lithuania, which obviously I consider to be a mistake because that now allows us to take Lithuania. But yeah, this the chances just I can't seem to get them much higher than we've got it. The port just seems to magically regenerate, even though we're port striking almost every turn. So I don't think that's going to go through. We'll see though. Oh, the Brandenburg. No, that's a little too rich for the Z and some destroyers, I think. Yeah, so we'll go to the next turn. We'll see what happens here. If this doesn't work, which I don't think it will, we're going to go and we're going to immediately hit Lithuania, and then we're going to go this way and just try and knock off these 3 provinces, and then we'll come back and try Eastern Germany. Oh, it does work. Well, excellent. The plan is still to go and take Lithuania, I think, but that throws a bit of a spanner in the works for them. Love it. Right, naval invasion. What's the easiest one to take? Yeah, Lithuania. That's what I thought. Because that allows the battleships to go take Lithuania, and we can temporarily pop this fleet into Kiel, because then they can just kind of raid. Although maybe not actually. Hold on. What I'm instead going to do, I'm going to pop them over here for now. See if we can get that blockade going again. Well. See how they respond to that. Right, welcome back. For some reason we only have a 75% chance, and I'm sure it's because there are German ships somewhere. They were right here, which is why I sent a bunch of battle cruisers over to go and get them. And they've disappeared, but where they disappeared to, I'm not so sure. They are maybe went into Hamburg. Yeah, there's ships over here, but they shouldn't be affecting anything in the Baltic. There's a destroyer, another destroyer, another destroyer, and 2 light cruisers. If that's all that's pushing that to 75%, I'm a little bit annoyed. Let's see if we can cause them to generate a mission. Of course, it's possible they've been dragged in here. No, just light cruisers against heavies, which is a good way of losing a light cruiser. Oh, hello. What's all this? Okay, we found a bunch of stuff out here. Why are the Germans sending ships all the way out here? Interesting. Well, Idaho, for some reason on her own, where is she supposed to be? She's operating out of Helgoland. So is Montana and Louisiana. Oh, those must be the ships that went in for repairs. Yeah, there's 3 battleships sitting there. Join the invasion fleet, please. Right, well, I guess let's get to it. Right. This is not a German super battleship. Although it is modern in design, so could potentially be relatively nasty. We'll probably have a speed advantage over Idaho. Full belt pen. I'm getting some early hits. Ow! Main belt pen. Withdraw. Idaho hasn't been refitted. Or... yeah, she hasn't. Why the hell not? Well, I can't refit her now because she's... blooming... although she can just score a pretty big hit back. She's going to be in repairs again. Okay, I need to double check that. I mean, that was a huge main belt pen. Oh, Germans maybe gotten a bit too excited here. Friedrich de Grosser does not have the armour to do this. Those 14-inch guns do punch quite well. But she can't take it. Gone. Well, for a mistake on my part, not realising quite what was going on there, Idaho did extremely well. Ah, I'm being foolish. No, of course, it's they need a refit, but they were busy. I wasn't expecting a war with the US. That's what it was. So yeah, the 14-inch ships are overdue a refit. Because we now have the Mark IVs. Because, yeah, I did all the battle cruisers, but I didn't do the battleships because, well, they were busy invading, and it was against the Russians, so I didn't really feel the need to go crazy. Right, 2 Trentons and an Interceptor against German 3 light cruisers. Anyway, Idaho did a superb job there. There is absolutely not what a standard class wants to be going up against. A fast battle cruiser with pretty punchy guns. She did very, very well. Right, 3v3. Oh, are they running? Oh, well, it'd be a shame if we had a faster cruiser to deploy. But I'm going to go quiet for a bit while we chase them down. Alright, yeah, all three of my cruisers took damage because those German cruisers are really good at getting flooding hits when they're being chased down, and they're quite annoying to sink as well because all the damage gets concentrated aft and you can't actually sink the whole ship. But still, we got two of them and we didn't lose any of our own. Alright, we've got the Montgomery, a Salem class. I don't think we've actually seen the Salem class in action yet. Against, well, I guess their direct competitor from the Germans in the Prince Heinrich, and that they're both 8-inch gun cruisers. Although the Heinrich also carries a ton of torpedoes. They also have backup from a Graf Spee, and we have backup from a Santa Fe. So I'd say the advantage is slightly with the Germans for this one. They have more torpedoes, and they have 2 heavy cruisers, 2 hour, 1 heavy and 1 light. And their heavy is more expensive than ours. But we'll just have to see. Right, Santa Fe, follow. Save your torps. Let's head in the general direction. Do have those 10 inches, but I'm not sure what relative ranges are. Our range isn't that bad. I haven't seen them sending out any shells yet. What's your torpedo range? Seven. Okay. Good accuracy from Montgomery straight away, hitting the conning tower. Like they're focusing on the Santa Fe, probably because of her torpedoes. Ooh, more damage to the upper works, and lost their whole main tower. And the fire control. Santa Fe holding up. What's your chance to pen? Yeah, try some AP shells. Just want to see what they do. It's worth checking that the AI is firing the right shell for what you want it to do. What do we get there? Main belt pin. Yeah. You want to be firing AP. Because we've pretty much... Well, not all of our upworks, but most of our upworks are destroyed. So we're not going to get there with high explosive. Unless we get flooding on their extended bits, of course. But the AP shells can sink her right now. Look, 2 more main belt pins. Main belt pins take a huge chunk of health off. And another one. It's starting to move away a bit. Oh, they switched fire. Oh well, I suppose it's not a terrible call at this point. Baden is needing a bit of attention, but I think high explosive probably the best bet here, given the angle she's at. Yeah, there we go. Right, now she's turning. Go to automatic. Still the 8G. I mean, they're pretty thin-skinned, these German cruisers, so it does make sense. Viennetta, classic ice cream if you're a British person. Now target switching again, but Montgomery seems to be able to do that. Her accuracy goes up very fast. Both German cruisers badly damaged. Viennetta sunk. Baden, I don't think we'll be too far behind. Main deck pen, lovely. Oh, that'll definitely finish her off. Cheeky little flash fire. Oh, they stopped the flooding of that compartment. That is insanely lucky. AI pulling out all the nonsense. Try and avoid losing this battle. It's just a matter of time before we get flooding hit that sticks like that one. Wow. Excellent job by the Montgomery. Impressed with the Salems so far. Very, very good. Ah, we finally pinned down the Schwaben-class, the Braunschweig. She might do some damage here because it's not like the standards are immune to her. But I think we have enough firepower to put her down before she can cause any serious damage to my ships. Really need to just, like, get rid of the German fleet altogether. That is what we're really needing so that we can just hit them where it hurts and eliminate them once and for all. Here we go. Now, they're already sighted, but I'm going to risk it. Everyone form up. At least with slow ships, they don't do these massive, wide arcs as they try and get in position. Enemy in sight, and we open up with everything. Immediately knock out the fire control. Real issue with those ships. Oh, that's an even bigger problem. That's how America does it. Gone. Managed to do almost nothing. Here come the destroyers. And there go the destroyers. I don't think that went the way that Germany wanted. That's a $2 billion warship. Gone. In a, more or less an instant. In fact, it dealt no damage. But how did they take damage then? It said they dealt damage. Oh, from fire. Yeah, they did some fire damage and that's it. Here's the rest of the fleet. Now, this is a little bit trickier because we just have Louisiana and Montana out on their own for some reason. Not sure why they didn't join the rest of the fleet, or why why the two German fleets didn't join together. But this is going to be very different because we cannot assume that we're just going to totally disassemble the German battleship instantly, because we don't have the firepower to do that. So, going to have to play this one a little bit more carefully than just form a line and laugh. Maybe the other ship, that first battle was deliberately to distract the main fleet so they could jump on Montana and Louisiana here. It's possible. Bit of a insane play, if you ask me. Sacrificing a super battleship for a chance to take out two enemy battleships that don't cost as much. Already we're landing a lot of hits. We're not in range with the high explosive yet, so a lot of these are just overpenning. That one didn't though. Yeah, how's that plan going for you? Same problem. 4-belt pen. Then, because it's the angle it is, the shell goes through the parapet into the magazine, and boom. Score a hit there. Louisiana. Just keep sliding away a little bit, because all the small ships are coming in now. We do need to keep on the German battleship. Can still fire at us. can still hurt us. That destroyer getting handled by the secondary guns. Remember that these particular standards have quite a lot in the way of secondary guns. You can see that swarm of secondary shells. Head more away. Alright, cruiser down. Oh, they're turning a bit. It's good. Get a better purchase on the shells. Montana, can you switch up to AP, please? Because they currently can't fire at us at all. No, just bouncing off. Torpedo hit? From what? One of their own destroyers? Hilarious. You can switch back to auto. I think they're about to go down. Yep. Smashing. Now we know there are some torpedoes in the water, but I'm already basically trying to avoid them. Heavy cruiser. Gonna find itself getting some unwelcome attention. There are those torpedoes. And goes the steer. Now the destroyers charging in under a hail of fire. Right. Oh, there's someone did manage to get some off. No, thank you. Right. There was one or two more. Well, there were one or two more ships. They can see me. So, Louisiana, what if you taken here 20 hits from 19-inch guns and only one penetration? Impressive. And you've taken literally nothing. All blocked, whatever it was fired at Montana. And again, these ships, they're only on the Mark 3s. They're not up to Mark 4 standards. They don't have radar. They don't have the modern armor. They're fairly old ships now, and they are absolutely wrecking everything. Aside from the Virginia, which was lost in that enormous battle, who also fought extremely well. No, I'm being really pleased with the standards. They're slow. That's their only real drawback. Well, I kind of thought that was it, actually. Is there another light cruiser around still? There is. I don't think they can see me, though. I'm on a times 30, and that usually means they're way away. So yeah, 2 light cruisers escape. Brandenburg. If that was some sort of cunning plan, it pretty much totally failed. Seems we're not over. It was an all-out assault. They also thought that sending Atlantis and Bavaria against the Lexington and her squadron, which is the blockade force, over off the coast of Helgoland, is a good idea. I don't think it is. I'm not even sure we've seen the Essex class in combat. And we certainly haven't seen Lexington, the second Lexington. See if she lives up to the name. Keen to get started. And, yeah, we also have 4 Detroits. Oh, no, sorry, not 4 Detroits. 2 Detroits and 2 Salems in this group. Which is, yeah, an awful lot of ship for these Germans to deal with. Oh. Switched up to the destroyer by the looks of it. That's a light cruiser. Oh. A little bit of damage there. Yeah, I'll learn you. Bavaria on fire everywhere. Finally put out of her misery. Lantis goes down. Just the destroyers to go. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Right. Sorry about that. End of the video sans commentary. I didn't forget. Right. Yeah. Lexington and her cruisers totally destroying that last ship. Is that all you've got, Germany? Or are you finished throwing ships away? Okay. The Germans have remaining 1 heavy, 8 lights, 4 destroyers. They're repairing 4. They're building 10. I have no idea what they're building. But we're not done this month. Naval invasion is 2 turns to go. It is now at 100% though, which is fantastic. I'm rearranging the battleships so that they're in 2 even squadrons so that the Germans don't do that again. We've got 2 light cruisers up here. They have a heavy cruiser, 2 lights, and a destroyer in action here. I'm not going to try and take them on with just the Santa Fe. And they have 4 cruisers here, but I know this is just going to be a stern chase battle. So I'm going to end the turn and see what happens. Right, 2 turns later, we've just taken Lithuania, and what looks like the entire remaining German fleet has sailed out to meet us, which we will do gladly. Most gladly. Why were they attacking us on the after It would have made more sense to do that the previous month, but yeah, they just throw everything at us. Cool. Maybe their army logistics will finally go down, although I wouldn't bet on it. Legendary difficulty. It is very difficult to get the AI in a position where it's army logistics tanks, unless they're China. Torpedo void on. See what you've got. And head slightly away because I know that they're just going to charge me to try and get into torpedo range. Here are the heavy cruisers, and then a whole bunch of smaller ships. Weapons free. Most of the action is probably going to be, yeah, round about where Pennsylvania is in the line. Yeah, I do get comments quite a lot. Well, I say quite a lot. I've had a few recently saying, hey, Dreadnought Improvement Project, it's really easy to just win with destroyers. And certainly there is a point in the game where torpedoes are super powerful, particularly in the pre-Dreadnought era. Torpedo boats and early destroyers can be extremely strong. But right here, you're seeing why. Well, yeah, but then it kind of goes the other way because main guns are perfectly capable of hitting these small ships. And when you're backed up by secondaries causing a couple of flooding hits, slowing you down, and then you just get absolutely bodied by the main guns, it's not always going to be very effective. Certainly not for the AI, anyway. It is a viable player strategy, though, to go destroyer only. Well, not only, but heavy on the destroyers, which is something that Stealth is currently doing in his Spanish campaign, which I highly recommend you check out. Also playing on Dreadnought Improvement Project version 2. Has been an absolutely fascinating watch for me because he's playing Spain, which is the country I played last and did two different kind of takes on because of how the time I messed up the save, so I had to go back. And his very destroyer heavy approach that has been working incredibly well, I have to say. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how his campaign develops because he's focused on getting just as many destroyers as he possibly can, and he hasn't been able to tech up, which is very hard in Spain anyway. But yeah, he doesn't really have the ability to invade high value well, he's got trouble with invasions because he doesn't have that much in the way of battleships. Yeah, if as technology gets on and if you're behind, oh yeah, I'm very curious to see how his campaign turns out. Right, well, it's quietened down a bit. Someone is seeing us. I don't know if they're going to attack us, though. Would be nice to wipe their fleet here. You see, still a ton of ships around. Probably the light cruisers, which seem to be very hesitant to engage my ships. Head in between them, would you? Course standards. They're very slow. So chasing isn't an option. But long-range destruction is. The other concern I have about stealth approach is the AI is not the smartest, but it certainly knows how to blockade Spain if it wants to. If you've watched the Succession campaign I did with Rex and oh gosh, names totally gone out of my head. That's so bad. I'm so sorry. Rex and Ocean. That's it. Which was a lot of fun. We played Spain, and when it got around to my turn, Spain was blockaded. And that can be fixed with destroyers, as I did, through sheer jamminess and the brave sacrifice of a single destroyer, which managed to torpedo the US battleship that was blockading me. Yeah, blockades, very, very bad news. So I'm going to end there. There's some light cruisers floating about, some destroyers, but if they've decided to run away, there's not much I can do about it. Right. Well, Lithuania is liberated. Time to liberate Prussia. Now, this one's going to be a lot harder to pull off. But look at Germany's GDP. Absolutely tanking. And so is their army logistics. Finally. And that is big because if their army logistics is tanked, then we can hopefully get the army involved in actually doing something. Hopefully pushing from Eastern Germany to Western. That's what I really need them to do. But that, plus this battle, which is a chance for the rocket to end her miserable existence, as requested by the captain of the USS Rocket. This is going to have to wait for the next episode. What do the Germans actually have? So they have that one battleship, 5 lights, 3 destroyers. They're repairing 1 ship, probably a light cruiser. They're building 13. But their whole world is about to get a lot worse when the British and French join in. Yeah, one thing I really wish you could do is kind of... if you've ever played a Paradox game like Victoria 3, you can designate a strategic objective. And even though you don't have direct control over your land forces in that game, they kind of will go, oh, okay, you want us to go there? Sure. It would be nice if you could kind of go, hey, this is a priority target for the army, and the army actually does it. The army is currently sitting around not doing very much. They've got 300,000 troops in Eastern Germany. They could take Western Germany if they actually tried. Anyway, enough moaning. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Naval Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.